May I have an N, please? May I have an N? 2 N's. Very good. Anybody with the third, the fourth, fifth letter here? What's the letter? V. They want a V. Here's Vanna. Welcome. Is anybody hotter in this nation today than Vanna White? Look at this. The Ladies' Home Journal. Newsweek. Boy, you never promised your family you'd make Newsweek, did you?
No.
And the cover. And ahem. Playboy. You can't be embarrassed by this. I think it's very flattering. What do we call this? A layout? I don't know what you call it.
Well, I
don't
am
feel so badly
embarrassed.
about it.
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes.
Why?
I'm embarrassed. Look at that cover. Don't look at that cover.
You mean the bare bottom?
Yes.
So but beyond that, everything's okay with you?
Well, not really. There's a situation involved there that is personal.
Regarding your relationship with Hefner?
Yes.
He promised you that he wouldn't use them? Is that how this goes?
Well, it started out, I did the shots in 1982.
Were you starving at the time?
Yes, more or less, I was. And I couldn't pay my rent, and I was too embarrassed to ask my father for the money because I was trying to make it on my own and do it on my own. So I posed for these lingerie shots. Mm-hmm. And then they came back a few months ago. They came out, and Hugh Hefner bought them and published them. And he told me he wouldn't publish them because we were friends and this kind of a thing, and then other situations happened and they came out.
Did you show them those pictures, Brian? Show the monitors to the audience so we can see.
Phil!
Well, everybody in the world has seen these. I mean, this was in Time and Newsweek, and.
I know, but.
You don't think so?
No,
you're
I don't think so. Newsweek, Ladies' Home Journal.
That's
Let's pull those out.
That's better.
Yes.
What a one. Yes. Sure.
She's so embarrassed about it. Did she release it when she took the pictures?
Well, this is an interesting legal question. You know you're not the first person to get hot after the shots were taken.
True.
So what is the legal... you really don't have a legal recourse, do you? I assume you did sign a release.
I did sign a release.
Now, does the release say they can put these photographs anywhere, or how narrowly drawn?
That's something that is in discussions right now. Releases are something all models go through, or people involved with when they take pictures. And there's a thin line between where they're published and where they're not published.
Yeah.
And that's something that's in the courts now.
My own feeling is what has happened to you is no accident. That I happen to think that not everybody could turn these letters. I think a lot of people could turn the letters. Don't miss my point. But obviously you have something that America very much likes. And the copy that you're generating here is all positive. People do make fun of this. This is perhaps the single most successful television program in the history of the universe.
Yes, it is.
And there you are standing there. Lots of pretty women have come out to show cars and other merchandise. And you've done it in a way that obviously has attracted enough. You have fire departments writing to you.
Yes.
I don't know what's this done to the inside of your head? I assume you're obviously enjoying this. Do you feel some need to prove that you can do more than turn letters? I don't know. What?
To tell you the truth, I don't. I have fun with my job on the show, and I signed a 7-year contract 4 years ago, and I'll be the first to not make fun of it, but go along with the way everybody feels, because it's true. I turn letters on a game show. This is what I do. Why am I sitting in this seat right in front of all these people here? I don't know, and I just enjoy what I do, and I take it for what it is, and maybe some other things will come along later, but I have no desire to leave. It's just too much fun.
Oh, I'm sure.
It is. And I think a lot of people would like to be in my position.
I'd be curious to know what your opinion was when they stripped Vanessa Williams of her title since she had appeared in Playboy.
Well, everybody has a past of some kind or another, and I think our private life is our private life, and I hate that people have to exploit us in a way, especially when you start becoming famous or whatever. It really is, it touches your heart when you're one of those people.
Yes.
Vanna, what does one have to do to obtain a job like yours? I'm very envious of you.
Oh, you know, there's not many of my jobs around. I was very lucky to get this position, and I count my blessings every day. What I would suggest as far as being a model or an actress, you have to have an agent to get you auditions for these kinds of jobs, or any kind of job in front of television or whatever.
You're from Atlanta?
I'm originally from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Are you from there, too?
No kidding. Well, welcome.
And I lived in Atlanta for 5 years.
And then you went to L.A. to be a model?
Yes.
You must have been, that must be a very discouraging situation. You were surrounded by beautiful women out there.
I know. It was very discouraging because coming from a small town in South Carolina, moving to Atlanta, Georgia, which was a bigger town than my hometown, but not as big as Los Angeles, I took the step slowly and started modeling professionally in Atlanta, doing quite well, and thought that I could do very well in Los Angeles. So when I moved out to California, I thought, oh, this is great. You know, I was a top model in Atlanta. I can do anything. I got out there, and my bubble burst immediately because there's just so many beautiful women. And
yeah, well, what'd you do? Did you have a place to stay, or what kind of budget were you on?
I moved out there with $1,000 in my pocket, no car. It cost me $700 for first and last month's rent, and I paid $300 for a Pinto, which was one of my favorite cars. And never broke down. And I started working as a bartender right away.
With a funny little briefs outfit on, or?
Oh, yeah, I had a little apron and a little short dress on.
What year was this, Vanna?
This was in 1980.
7 years ago, you were tending bar?
And sleeping on a floor. Didn't even have a mattress to sleep on.
Yeah. You tell us in your book that you quite obviously have taken very good care of yourself. But however lovely may be your body, you were too busty for modeling? Is that so?
I was pretty big. I was 25 pounds heavier. I was 25 pounds heavier when I moved to Los Angeles. And a lot of it was in different portions of my body, parts of my body.
Uh-huh. But is it also true that now, what are you, about a 6?
Yes.
How do you think you do I'm talking about Vogue, you know, the modeling. Are you too busty for that? I'm trying to figure out what it is they're interested in, and why wouldn't they be interested in that feature?
I think times have changed. Modeling goes through different stages. Sometimes they want tall, skinny girls. Sometimes they want a little more healthy-looking girls. It just depends on the time. Just like clothes go through stages and fads, so do models.
What did they want when you were working?
There was very, very high fashion, you know,
pencil,
sunken in,
almost
that
anorexic.
kind of a look.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to know what's the most fun thing that you do on the show, and what's the most least favorite thing you do?
The most fun thing is seeing the look on the people's face when they win. That's the greatest feeling of all, just to feel. I can feel what they're feeling. A lot of them have such stories. Some of them, this one guy one from Arizona. He came from Arizona, and his car broke down on his way out to be on our show, and he won a car on the show. So that kind of a thing was just wonderful.
I'm sure the job's a lot of fun, but don't you get a little bored doing it night after night? Are you thinking of your shopping list or something while you're turning those letters?
Never, never, never. I'm not. I'm too involved with the show. As soon as they say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 action, I am totally involved for the whole 30 minutes because I can't make a mistake because there's a lot of people in the production company that is spending a lot of money to put this show on. So I am involved with them and the contestants because they deserve all the help they can get.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Vanna.
Hi.
You look so very pretty on this show, and your dresses that you wear are so lovely. Do you have a designer?
I have 5 designers that I use on the show, and I have to tell everyone right now, I don't get to keep any of the clothes I wear.
That is depressing, yeah.
Do you have any responsibilities other than turning the letters? I mean, do you do anything behind the scenes that people aren't aware of?
Not really. That's about it.
Vanna, are you on any special kind of a diet to stay so thin?
Well, thank you. I do watch what I eat. I just did a video, which is going to be out in a couple months, Get Slim, Stay Slim, the way I did it. Because as I said, I was 25 pounds heavier, and that was because I would eat whole pies and whole cakes and not exercise that much. So this video is about exercising a little bit, but mainly nutrition.
How have you changed your diet, Vanna, if at all?
I've gotten a more balanced diet. I
So-
will say every once in a while I'll splurge and eat a donut or something. But if you get down to the weight you want to be, you can do that every once in a while.
Uh-huh. But everybody wants to get down to the weight they want to be. Did you have it, did you just smaller portions, or did you change? Was there anything dramatic about
Changed my whole eating habits. I used to never eat salads and soups. I know that stuff might sound boring, but you can learn to eat it in such a way that it tastes good. And have smaller portions of certain things. You can eat meat, you can eat fish, you can eat potatoes. It's just you don't put a pound of butter on your potato when you eat it.
Vanna, I'm sure your agent must race Dave Palmer's agent to the bank. He models underwear. What's the difference?
You mean Jim Palmer, yeah.
Jim Palmer, I'm sorry. Baseball player.
What's your question?
Well, you seem to have this guilt complex about these pictures in Playboy, and what's the difference between what Jim Palmer does and what you do?
Well, the difference is this was without my permission, and Hugh Hefner was a friend of mine, and I just feel hurt and disappointed in someone doing that to me on a personal level.
Yeah. It says somewhere that the photographer made $75,000 for this spread.
Yes.
Maybe you're on the wrong side of the camera, Vanna.
I think I am too.
Yeah.
Vanna, I know that there's a lot of garbage newspapers out, but is there anything behind you and Pat Sajak?
Oh, you want the truth? No. We're very good friends, and we spend so much time together on the show and traveling around the country doing personal appearances and contestant searches that we really don't spend much time together on our off time.
Yeah.
Hi, Vanna. Has there ever been a time when you know what the letter is, when the contestant says, like, a letter A, and you know how they light it up? Have you ever not lit it up and you know there's an A, and you feel frustrated, like, light it?
Sometimes I feel like when I get to the letter, I know the puzzle beforehand. When I get to the letter, and I might get there before it lights up, I feel like I'm standing there for an eternity before they light it up. But no, they've always lit it up. Thank goodness.
Back to the letter turning. Have you ever turned the wrong letter by mistake?
No, believe it or not. That's because I won't turn it unless it lights up.
Yes.
Vanna, your name was a household word, I think, long before the Playboy layout or you had written your book, Vanna Speaks. But I know there was a great deal of tragedy in your life.
Yes.
How have you found the strength to draw upon all the tragedies you've undergone?
Let me just say that you lost your mother to cancer several years ago. How long?
1980.
And also, you were in love with a soap star
Yes.
who was on The Young and the Restless, was he not?
Yes, he was.
And he died piloting his own plane. You tell us in your book or interviews that you knew your mother was going to die, but this information about your boyfriend just boom,
Yes,
one
it
day.
happened suddenly.
Well, how are you doing emotionally? Since none of us get out of life without this kind of punch in the nose, you'll pardon us for asking about this.
No, it's a very touching matter that we all have to deal with in life, and I dealt with two opposite deaths, from knowing that one was going to die, from not knowing that the other one was going to. And believe it or not, it has made me very strong. You have to learn from this stuff, and you have to keep on going. You have to keep on, you feel like it's the end of the world when something like this happens. And it is for a long time. I'm still affected by my mother's death from 7 years ago, and my boyfriend hasn't even been a year. And you just have to be strong and keep on going. You're going to break down, but that's all part of it, too. You got to do that.
There you are. What a
Yep.
tragedy.
That was John Gibson,
What a
living
tragedy
boyfriend.
for a young man, very talented, to be taken from us so quickly.
Yeah, and you also go through anger. Sometimes you might feel angry, and then you'll feel hurt. You just go through every emotion you can imagine. Why him? Why couldn't it have been me? Because you just go through such pain with families and everything.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you feel about being in Bloom County this morning in the cartoon
What
with
does
the
it say?
penguin?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, gosh, look at that. It's... There you are with the penguin. Do you follow Bloom County?
I have heard of it. Yes.
I'd have to use my best.
This guy has even more vividly lascivious dreams about Vanna White than me. You are on America's consciousness, no doubt about that. I assume you must be reasonably pleased with the press you've that you've generated. I mean, they've really, when they pass out the scandal, take what you've got. Take Playboy. You know, when you think of all the possibilities today.
Yes.
Have they poked a little too, they put their nose under the tent too much in your view, or?
Not really. That's what it's all about. You have to deal with all that. I will say regarding death and everything, again, going back to tabloids, how they write, like 3 or 4 weeks after John died, they're saying how I brought him back from the grave and this kind of stuff, and that's not very nice. But you just have to learn to live with it.
I'd like to know how you're involved with contestant search.
The contestant searches, our staff, Wheel of Fortune staff, goes on the road doing contestant searches. Pat Sajak and I are not involved with that. We do not pick the contestants because we don't know what they're looking for. There is a trained staff who knows exactly what they're looking for. And I can tell you right now, if you do want to be a contestant, my advice is to just have fun, enjoy it, don't be nervous, just have a good time. And
During the audition, you mean?
Yes.
Obviously, they don't want the Wax Museum out there for
No.
as contestants.
No, and we
So
don't
the
want
tendency, if I were to be auditioned, I'd wave my arms and jump up and down. They probably would guess that I'm being phony, huh?
Yeah, you don't have to do that either. They don't want somebody to jump up and down and scream and holler. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
Vanna, we're 4 Kappa Delta Road Brothers from Rutgers, and we brought a letter shirt, and we'd like to make you an honorary little sister. We'd be honored.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Let
we're
me
pleased
shake
to
your
make
hand.
you a Kappa.
Thank you.
You have our guarantee that Vanna will never wear that shirt only in public. And we'll be back with Vanna White in just a moment.
White. They'll make the show a hit.
That's
That
Vanna.
looks like fun.
I want you to just, can we see, we'll see this tight. We've got pictures of you on the back. This is,
That's me and my mother.
look at there how pretty you are.
Joan and
pretty
Vanna.
she is. Next.
Aha. That was my first attempt of modeling pictures when I was in my backyard in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. This ought to stop traffic out front, I'd say. Look
oh,
at,
no. You know, I have to tell you, when Pat Sajak saw the pictures in this book, he said, Vanna, you really do have a good sense of humor to put something like this in that book.
Now, this is junior prom, senior prom, what would it be?
Yes, it was, I think I was in the 10th grade.
Yeah. You are a little pudgy here.
Yes. Yes, I am.
So, in high school, then, Vanna White thought of herself as, what, average?
Sure. I was real popular in high school, cheerleader and all that stuff, always outgoing, but I really didn't think I was that ugly. No.
You think
No.
you're ugly here?
Well, I don't
Well,
think
do you
I'm-
know anybody who looks at their high school photograph of any kind and says, gee,
This
I
is
was
true.
a stunner? Nobody says that.
This is true.
How narcissistic were you? You know what I mean? Did you want to be thinner, or didn't it matter to you?
Oh, I did want to be thin. Actually, that dress makes me look heavier than I was. I look pregnant in that dress, don't I? It's only in the 10th grade. But I wasn't that heavy.
Uh-huh. Well, hello to you. And where'd you put the motorcycle? Is this a modeling shot?
Yes, it is. That was when I moved to Atlanta, one of the first testings I did.
Yeah. You know, you truly have changed, haven't you? I mean, your whole
I think so.
25 pounds.
Yes.
That's an inspirational thing for people who might want to lose weight. And I don't want to beat you over the head on this, but you're saying you did this without drinking water for 7 days or eating
Oh,
birdseed
yes,
or
no.
going to a spa or any of that?
I didn't stop eating. I just slowed down.
Really? Uh-huh. We
Yes.
should all be that lucky to be able to do this. Now, hello? How do you feel about this shot?
I like that shot.
I do, too.
I really do. It's one of my favorite.
Uh-huh. Did you have an agent when you went to L.A.? I'm very curious. How old? Well, I shouldn't ask you how old you were unless you want to tell us when you went.
1980. That means I was 23 years old, which means I'm 30 today.
Well,
30. Hi. 30. I like it. Thank you.
Uh-huh. I don't know too many guys who'd want their daughters to show up in Hollywood all alone with $1,000 at age 23. We have nightmares about
I know.
what the potential for trouble out there.
But my family was very supportive of me. My father, he was strict on me growing up. And then he said, when you turn 18, you can make your own decisions. You can ask me anything you want, and I will, I'll give you advice, but I can't tell you what to do after you turn 18.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated him during those early years when he wouldn't let me go out camping and go to parties late at night, but now I love him for that.
And also, we are told that in the big city, it's not exclusive to L.A., it can happen here too, a lot of controlled substances surrounds you in places that you go socially. Were you always alert to that, or were you raised in a way that you didn't smoke cigarettes? I don't know.
I was raised my family was very open-minded, and I went through a small stage of smoking, trying to smoke to look cool, but I didn't like it, so that didn't last very long.
Commercial cigarettes, not the funny kind.
No. Well, I tried that too. But no, I don't like any of it. I like the natural high. That's the way to go.
There's rumor of Pat Sajak wearing rhinestone underwear. Have you heard anything on this?
Rhinestone underwear? Poor Pat Sajak, I'm telling you. Well,
no.
This is another one of those...
Another one of those things.
It is funny.
No,
it is
I don't
funny.
know about that.
I'm the one with the rhinestone underwear. Pat.
What do you do when the wheel stops turning, Vanna?
Oh, that's a good question. I know that's going to happen one day. And from there, I don't know. I've been dealing... Now, of course, I've come out with a book, and I'm doing some other things to go along with Wheel of Fortune, because I know it's not going to last forever. I hope I'm cementing some things to when the show ends. I'll continue on in other situations, but I don't know what exactly it will be.
Would you like to be an actress?
I think so, although everybody knows me for me. I'm not playing a character here. I'm playing myself.
Yeah.
And
So it's not a passionate, burning desire to be on the big screen?
Not really, although it is a secret ambition I have, I think. But I've paved the way this far, being myself, so maybe I'll continue doing that. Maybe a series, maybe a sitcom.
Your boyfriend has been dead now for almost a year, so we can hope and presume that you're starting to put yourself back together. Are you steady, Freddie, Eddie,
No.
anything?
No, steady Freddie. I have been dating a little bit, and it's hard. It really is. It takes a long time to get over something, but you have to go on with your life. And these, you think you lose all these kinds of feelings, personal feelings you have when you lose a loved one or a lover.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to get these feelings back, and they come back slowly. You're asking yourself, you might be comparing yourself to, or that person to someone else. And it's been a very unusual situation because I've never been put in this, but I'm learning from it, and I'm slowly getting back into dating. And I know the tabloids are saying I'm with someone new every other week, and this is not true.
Would you like to have a child? Family?
Absolutely.
You would?
I'm very domestic, and I definitely want a child.
Now you, not unlike countless other women, are 30, and we're, as you know, we do articles now about the body, the clock ticking and so on. You think about that too, I'm sure.
I do, but I think these days women are having babies at a later age in life.
Yeah.
I think if I have, I want 2 kids, I think, and I think if I have them before I'm 40, that'll be fine. Maybe in the next 3 years, 5 years.
Is Vanna White your real name?
Yes.
It is.
Vanna is my real name. I was born Vanna Rossich because I was adopted by my father, which when I was 3 years old, so my name did become Vanna White. But Vanna is a family name. It came from my grandmother's godchild, Vanna. So real name, not short for anything.
Coming from the world of being very short, how tall are you? You appear taller on television than you do in person.
I'm 5'6".
I have a secret ambition to hug you.
Not right now, all right? Have a seat and we'll talk about it.
Does it bother you to be known as a sex symbol, or do you want to be known like as the girl next door? Is that what you would prefer?
It doesn't bother me. I think everyone has their own opinion, and whatever they think is fine with me. It really is, unless it's too off the wall. I don't mind being known as a sex symbol, nor the girl next door. How about the sexy girl next door?
Do you wear a... how are you doing with... You wear a... Wait a minute. All right, you ask.
No, I have other questions first. Were you this weight when you made the Playboy pictures? I've seen them. Were you heavier then?
Yes.
Okay, and also, do you want me to ask her? Do you wear a bra?
Oh, no, I wasn't going to ask that. Where do we get these audiences?
I wanted to ask, I see in the Wheel of Fortune that a lot of times they have commercials of you, they're cloning someone.
Yes.
So it seems to me, Pat Sajak is very, very nice, and I'm sure you don't want his job, but it seems to me that you are before, after, during the show, and Vanna White is becoming the Wheel of Fortune.
Thank you. But no, I love Pat. I love Pat, and I would not want to change positions with him. And I think the reason why I have become more in the public eye is the fact that I don't get a chance to talk that much. And all of you watching at home are going, we want her to say something. Talk, Vanna, tell us more. So I really like my position on the show. I have a good time with it. And Pat's great to work with. I couldn't work without him, and I wouldn't change places with him either. And yes, I do wear a bra.
I would think Pat must be... I'm sure he understands that you are the lightning rod as it developed. Nobody planned this.
Another thing, too, Pat is very shy.
And I think this is fine with him. That would be my guess.
Absolutely. He's 100% behind me.
Yeah.
He just loves it.
He doesn't have terminal ego, I don't think.
No, he's a very down-to-earth guy.
But not every guy could handle what's happening to you if they were your public partner.
That's true.
Yeah. You don't see me out here with a co-hostess, do you?
Hi, Vanna. How does it feel to wear all that real nice jewelry and all the nice dresses?
It feels great, especially like those $30,000 pieces. There's a guard waiting for me at the end of the show. It's a lot of fun. I do feel like a Barbie doll. They dress me up in these great clothes.
Vanna, where do you make your home now?
My home is in Los Angeles. Yes.
Yes.
I wanted to know if your salary has increased with the popularity of Wheel of Fortune.
My salary has not increased on Wheel of Fortune. It has remained about the same with small raises. But I have gotten more money from doing endorsements from other things.
Yes.
Vanna, earlier on you said you had 5 costume designers.
Yes.
Do you have any say in what you will wear on the show?
No, I don't have any say-so. They've been under contract with these 5 designers for a long period of time, and these designers send their clothes to the studio, I wear them, and then they take them back, and usually they're auctioned off for charity.
Vanna, my friend Lindsey Johnson wanted me to formally invite you to his bachelor party on May 2nd.
She'll be there, of course. Yes?
Vanna, I'd like to know why all the dresses you wear on the show have a lot of shirring, either in the back, the bottom, the side.
A lot showing?
Is there shirring? Is there a reason for that?
No, there's not.
I was wondering that myself. What? You better explain the question.
All I can say is the clothes that I wear on the show are the designer's latest fashion, so I have no control as to the design of the dress or what they are. I just wear what they send me, and apparently it is their hottest thing or latest thing. A lot of it, huh?
Yeah.
What?
Gathering.
Gathering, and the word is what?
Sure.
See, you learn things on this show,
I do.
Bill.
Listen, I show up and learn. I go home more informed every day. Hi.
Wonderful. How did you meet Hugh Hefner?
How did I meet him? I met him through John Gibson, my late boyfriend. He introduced me, and I spent time up there with John and with him. And no, we were not fooling around, as I've read in a recent tabloid.
Yeah.
Vanna, you have an image of being a very happy person, always smiling, always having to be the cheerful, great person. Do you ever get tired of that, of people expecting you to be such an up person?
I don't think so. I think I always smile. Even in my sleep, I think I smile. I'm a pretty happy person. I'm just myself, and I'm happy most of the time. I get mad over little things, like getting lost on the freeway, that kind of stuff.
Yes, good afternoon, Vanna. I was curious if you stopped your career with the Wheel of Fortune, if you would go back to modeling, as in Playboy or fashion, or...
I don't think so. I think after Wheel of Fortune, being in front of a moving camera, I really like that. So I'll probably continue on something on television or something.
Well, it wouldn't take a genius to... there's got to be a whole bunch of people sitting around a table trying to figure out a spin-off for you.
Well, they're talking about these kinds of things, but I have no desire to leave the show. I'm obligated to the show, and I'll stay with it. If it can work around the show, I will do other things.
Back to the clothes, is there anytime that you've put on something and really just didn't want to wear it out onto the camera? Ever felt like, oh, this is horrible?
Absolutely. There have been those times.
And we have all of those shots, and we'll show you them in just...
I'd just like to know how you get along, excuse me, with the other co-hosts of game shows. I mean, there's so many pretty, beautiful women How do they feel about you just being so popular?
They're supportive of me. There have also been negative views from people, but as far as I'm concerned and they're concerned, we're friends. We don't often socialize together because I feel that we're all created equal. Nobody's better than anybody else. I am getting a little more publicity, but that doesn't matter.
Vanna, I'd like to know to what degree have you sacrificed your private life due to your celebrity? I know you must be mobbed walking down the street just to go shopping or things like that. Does that bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. I'm very flattered that people come up to me and ask me for an autograph. It's odd that I don't always look like this when I go out. I usually have my sweats on and people come up and say, "You look just like a young Vanna White," or something like that. It's fun.
Is it true that you collect workman's compensation when you break your nails?
No, that's not true.
Vanna, as we all know, losing weight is a very difficult task, but the most difficult to me is keeping it off. And being a registered dietitian, I'm very excited to hear you say that you lost it by following a nutritionally balanced diet.
This is true. It is. And we are what we eat. Just remember that. That's right.
And we'll be back with Vanna White in a moment.
Win it. Vanna wears this magnificent full-length umber.
Here, Vanna Speaks, which is what I would title her autobiography. And Pat Sajak did the foreword for his co-star on perhaps the most successful television show of all time. I'm not kidding, this thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're printing money, these people. And you're no small reason for that, as this audience agrees. Let's go down memory lane for a second, Brian. Is this Miss Georgia?
No, that is Miss Fire Prevention.
Where are you?
I think I'm at a fire station.
No, but I mean, which one are you?
Oh, can't you pick me out,
I really
Bill?
can't. Wait a minute. The eyes go first, Vanna.
Okay, I'm third from the right. Go to the right and back.
Yeah,
up
with
three.
the light bathing. Well,
yes.
It's like a silver kind of. Next slide. Next slide.
That was the Miss Georgia pageant.
And I know that's you on the left.
Yes.
Next slide.
Here we are.
Did you won?
No, I didn't. I was fourth runner-up. I never won a pageant I was in.
Oh, I see. You're the one on the right here.
Correct. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Next slide. Is there anything else up there? No. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Vanna. How do you achieve such a beautiful tan? Do you go to a tanning salon or do you sunbathe with your busy schedule?
I could try to get a little bit of sun. A lot of this is makeup. I'll be quite honest. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Vanna, did your recent photographs cause much or any negative fan mail?
I don't know too much about that. I will say it's caused me personal harm. Because I have, from this, people come out of the woodwork. You know, I receive phone calls from people saying they're Bob Guccione. I receive strange letters and this kind of stuff. So it really has hurt me.
Vanna, do you have any brothers and sisters? And if so, how do they feel about your success?
I have a younger brother, and he's very proud. He's very proud to, he gives me a lot of support, and he's there when I need him, because through all of this, you think you're on top of the world, everybody's there, but it's nice to have family to be behind you.
You look so athletic. Are you enjoy sports?
Yes. See this?
Well, I didn't. Are you into bodybuilding, or do you prefer tennis or swimming?
I enjoy all of it. I think all outdoor sports is wonderful. Tennis, swimming, running, all kinds of things. I like it all.
It looks good on you.
Thank you.
You do some weights then, do you?
I do. I do 10-pound weights to stay.
The lady that had your position before, do you get along?
I don't run into Susan Stafford that often. I have seen her a couple of times, and she seems to be doing quite well.
Yes, ma'am.
Vanna, what is your astrological sign?
I'm Aquarius, February 18th.
Someday we'll learn why that always gets a hand.
When you went up for your job, did Mr. Sajak have any final say on who was picked, or?
No, he didn't. Merv Griffin made the final decision. They did ask Pat what he thought of me, and he said, well, she's pretty and everything, but she sure is nervous. But Merv made the final decision.
How do you feel when someone might say that you're boring, that this is all just
just an exterior of you, that maybe there's more to it that nobody sees, or behind closed doors people see that?
How do I feel about them thinking I'm...
I think he means that the job is, as you say.
Yeah, the job's not boring to me, and I think people can say that it's boring because that's all they see me do. But there's more to it than that. It's fun. It's involved.
But it doesn't show off your considerable...
No, you have probably heard me say more words today than you've ever heard me say in my life.
Vanna, your hair is lovely. Has it always been this blonde?
No, it hasn't. I'm not a true blonde. It's light brown. I have it streaked.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Did you ever get any offers to star in movies?
There's been a few offers, but nothing has been signed yet.
Vanna, what do you do when you go out about security or even at your home? I mean, you must be worried about a lot of people out there. What do you do?
I don't get too worried about it. Usually when I go out, I'm not alone. I don't have a bodyguard or anything like that. But the difference is I'm not a big movie star. I'm a TV personality, and I'm in your homes every night, in your living room, and people think of me as their next-door neighbor. People are nice. They come, hi, how you doing, Vanna? This kind of a thing.
Yes.
You know, some people get really caught up in success when they're young. There's some baseball players and whatnot having problems. Could you please tell us what it's like to have all that pressure?
And have it happen to you so fast, so quickly?
I guess it did. I still don't consider myself a celebrity, oddly enough. I'm Vanna White, the person I was born, and I feel like I'm the same. I am getting more attention from people asking me for autographs and stuff, but I really do feel like I'm the same person. I don't think anything's changed.
Recently, you were on a Bob Hope special. Do you credit that to being on Wheel of Fortune,
Yes.
or for your recent publicity?
Huh. That's a good question. I don't know. Bob Hope asked me to do it, and I was quite honored, and it was a terrific thing to do. I really enjoyed working with such a legend.
You're, obviously your parents must have divorced when you were a very little girl.
Yes, my real father.
And then your mother married your stepfather.
Yes.
How am I doing so far? That was when you were age 3, I think.
Yes,
So for a long time you you were really raised then by a stepfather.
absolutely.
Yet you still enjoy a relationship with your natural father.
Yes.
How do I want to say this? Biological father. And you see him, and that's an achievement. As you know, a lot of families get split and there's never any healing.
No, I just saw my father a few days ago, as a matter of fact, my real father, and I don't see him on a regular basis, but we do stay in touch.
Was it your celebrity status that allowed this reconnection, or
No.
all through your life you've had a connection with him?
Yes, since I was 14, when I found out that he was my real father.
Oh, so you weren't, I see. Your mother didn't reveal this to you until you were 14.
Right.
Do you recall that first meeting with him?
Absolutely.
Tell me about
I went to New York. My real father was living in New York. My mother, me, and my brother all went to New York for a family trip to see the Statue of Liberty and to see my real father. And I thought the timing was great on that. At first it shocked me, but I accepted it very fast and stayed in contact with him.
Was your stepfather at all threatened by what he must have known would be this reunion with you?
No, I don't think he was threatened at all. I think because he's been very open and honest with me as far as my family goes and my thoughts on life and views on life. And I think he wasn't bothered by it at all.
Tell us about your stepfather. What's he like?
He's terrific. He's terrific. I don't call him my stepfather because he basically raised me since I was 3. And he's just been a part of my life. He's been behind me all the way and helped me make decisions along the way and has just always been there.
He's obviously very proud of you. Your mother did not see your success with Wheel, did she?
No, she did not.
You had done some things, though, prior, some show business type things prior to her death, huh?
Yes.
So she had good reason to be proud of you at the time of her death, but she didn't see all the heat that's come to you as a result of Wheel.
Maybe she's part of it. Maybe she's the reason why some of this has happened.
How often do you get to see your stepfather?
I visit my father. I go home at least once a year.
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
Well, Vanna, I am pleased to tell you that we have flown him here to see you. Here is your stepfather, Herbert White, Jr. Come on out here.
What are you doing here?
And we'll be back in just a moment. We're pleased to meet you, Mr. White. I've already established to this audience that I am crazy about your hair, and I'm glad I won't do anything to mine if you won't do anything to yours. Well, boy, you sure get great billing from Vanna. You were there throughout all the early career, her interest in modeling.
Really?
She lost the Miss Georgia contest.
Yeah, and she cried for 2 hours right here on my shoulder. Yeah. Bless her heart. She really...
You were there to hold her hand.
Yes, really,
where were you raised, Mr. White?
In Dillon, South Carolina, just 65 miles from the beach. And
yeah.
After staring at the beach so much, I decided I'd move down there. So.
Well, you remind us of a man who paid all his taxes and raised his children proper, and you also got that wonderful sound in your voice when you talk to us.
I used to talk like that, too.
Did you? And obviously, you're a big reason for the values that Vanna brought to, it's not everybody could handle the kind of heat that's come to her as a result of this success.
She does it well.
She's mature as well as pretty. She's smart she's got a lot of insight, and I'm sure that's a lot has to do with you. You couldn't have predicted this, though, Mr. White. You didn't know, huh? For Vanna?
No, not really. I knew that she could do anything she, decided to do just about, but not this great, this fast, really.
She didn't give you headaches in high school, did she?
Not really, truthfully, she didn't. Vanna was really a good girl. She had all of the thoughts that other girls, but I sort of kept those in line, that
Did you look the boys over when they came over to the house?
I certainly did.
He took good care of me.
Was the Pinto your first car when you went to L.A.? No.
No. Oh, when I went to Los Angeles, yes.
But I mean, you'd
He bought me a car for my 16th birthday, wasn't it?
15th.
Oh, it's 15.
That shows you that I had a lot of confidence in it.
Yes, you did. Really. But I think that in that state, I assume that was legal to drive at 15.
Oh, yes. 15 is early. You can get a permit.
Day permit, I think.
Permit, yeah.
Now, I assume you've got to deal with media now yourself. I mean, how's the press treating you, Mr. White?
Real good. They're real nice, believe it or not. I mean, I can explain to them that I'm kind of laid back. It's not my thing, and they sort of move on off.
Yes, you do look a little bit like you're in the dentist chair right now, Mr. White. But we all know that feeling, and I think that it's obviously America has grabbed this young woman with all its heart because she doesn't act show busy. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
You're pleased by that?
I'm pleased, yes.
Now we have to get you an agent, and we'll get a book, and we'll see. Yeah.
Has anyone ever told you you're an older version of Phil Donahue?
Not an older one, no.
You're doing real good here, Mr. White. Yes.
Vanna, hearing your father talk, I was just wondering how long it took you to lose your southern accent. Did you have to go to voice coaches or whatever?
I did take voice lessons to get rid of my accent, but it comes back real fast. Another 5 minutes, I'll be talking just like this.
Do you consider yourself with a southern?
Well, I live in Charleston, South Carolina, so I guess I do.
Would you like to get rid of it?
No.
Well, good for you. Be proud of that. Yes, ma'am. I'll get over there in just a moment. This, if you joined us late, is Herbert White, Jr., who happens to be Vanna's stepfather. Yes?
I want to say that we watch your show every night. We love it, but I want to know why you didn't bring Pat with you.
Oh.
Well, Pat doesn't have his book yet.
Right, I guess. He's working on one.
Yeah.
Yes,
Not
Van.
really.
Coming from Montesano, Washington, I'm thrilled to see you in person because I watch your show. All of us do. We love you in Washington.
Thank you. I'm glad. Keep watching.
Vanna, we just have one more surprise for you.
Oh, no.
You know him. He's your biggest fan, John Redmond. John, come on in here.
You're kidding.
Yeah, this guy has made his life's work Vanna White. Welcome him
My
here.
goodness.
Let me...
You too.
Come on down here, John. I want to talk to you. You can get comfortable there, Vanna. You look so gorgeous. You look like you just won the Miss Georgia.
I feel like I did.
Let me tell you about John. John Redmond is so crazy about Vanna. This is his California license plate. You ready? What happened, John? You went to the Carson show and then you got tickets to Wheel?
And I just wandered into Wheel of Fortune, and I looked at Vanna, and she made me smile, and I've just been addicted to her.
So what do you have? You have this. You probably have scrapbooks and so on?
Scrapbooks. I have all the magazine articles she's in, tapes of every show she's been on, pictures of her.
What's different about her?
She has a quality to just make me feel good. She just generates like a warmth that I just want to hug her.
Well, John, we're happy to give you one more opportunity to meet Vanna, and we'll be back in just a moment. Thanks for coming with us. Vanna Speaks is the title of Vanna White's autobiography, and it's all here. This is there's no gloss and cosmetics here. There's a lot of pain in her life, and she's honest to tell us about it. Well, I know you join me in thanking a very talented young woman for guesting with us today, Vanna White.
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following.
At Volvo, we've been safety testing our cars almost as long as we've been building them, because we want to make sure our customers keep coming back.
The Drake offers an exciting weekend in New York at a special price. The only Swiss hotel on Park Avenue. For reservations, call 800-DRAKE-NEW YORK or 212-421-0900.